given your role as Deputy Chairman for the last 5 years, and you saw how difficult the scenario is in investing in this very, volatile global economy, does the rules of the law that, GIC and Temasek must be long-term investors still hold? And, our hard-earned savings, as Singaporeans, how do we ensure that it's in safe hands that can beat inflation and is sustainable?
Well, given all of the issues which I've just raised, fundamentally, for long-term investors like GIC, you still have to rely on investing with a long-term perspective, not on a short-term perspective, because that is your strength. You can take a long-term view. GIC has a 20-year view. And you have to have a thorough assessment and knowledge of the various asset classes, economies, companies. Basically, for a long-term investor, not a trader, an investor like GIC does not trade. I mean, when GIC buys something, you hope to hold it for 20, 30 years. What you are looking for is what I would call sustainable value. Companies which will grow with time, which you can profit with them. That's the key. I think that's also the same philosophy which Mr. Warren Buffett also uses for his company, Berkshire Hathaway. And the results, I think, are self-evident. So that is what long-term investors have to do. And to be able to do that successfully, not on a 1 or 2 year basis, but on a long-term basis, you need a professionally managed staff. Staff which are able, staff which are competent, dedicated, who are aware of what is going on, who have contacts around the world, who can see problems before they arise. I'm no longer with GIC. So
what have you been doing, Dr. Tan, since then?
Well, I'll say that I think GIC went through the financial crisis actually in good shape fundamentally because they were able to they saw some of the problems and they took action in 2008 well before the crisis, and I think that this has helped them to weather the crisis and emerge in stronger shape, unlike many other investment companies. But this is what you have to do. But it's very difficult because when you look ahead, what they're trying to do, you're trying to predict the future. And as we all know, that's very, very difficult, and you're more likely to be wrong. Touch wood, I think GIC was right, and that resulted in it. But next time, they could be wrong. So, as all of you who are running businesses know, the future is unpredictable. But all of us have to try and see what lies ahead and to manage the consequences